Welcome to Vetted Conversations, coming to you from Media Row at Super Bowl 60. As you know, this is our roadshow series where we take the mission on the road and our bias for patriotism always travels with us. In today's episode, Anil chats with two powerhouses from TAPS, Diana and Jessica, who are doing incredible work ensuring survivors of fallen service members have the care and resources they need. Today, they discuss how sports can play a pivotal role in the healing process and how being a Salute to Service partner specifically has helped provide these families with a day of joy in an otherwise really challenging time. You do not want to miss this conversation. We're your veteran and military family member hosts, bringing you the conversations that matter. So let's get into it.
Hey everybody, this is Anil Nathan, your host for Vetted Conversations here on Radio Row in San Francisco, California. And I have the pleasure of being joined by Diana and Jessica from TAPS. Thank you both for taking the time to chat with us.
Happy to be here.
So maybe to start, can you tell us what brings you to the Super Bowl this year and how it's been so far? Obviously it's early in the week, but how's kind of the experience been in the belly of the beast, for lack of a better term?
We are thrilled to be here, very excited. We've been working with NFL teams for as long as the sports program has been around, right, since 2013. And we've been a Salute to Service partner for the NFL for about the last decade. And that's, enabled us to create really beautiful, meaningful memories for the families of America's fallen heroes.
Absolutely. And maybe if you could just tell for folks who may not know the incredible work that TAPS does, can you just give a little bit of an overview of how TAPS supports the survivors of military families, all of the work that you do?
So since 1994, TAPS has been caring for the families of the fallen, providing them with opportunities for comfort, care, and community, right? The connections that they can build with one another, that peer-based emotional support that those who are grieving, need as they're on their grief journey. Programming all over the country all year long, which is fantastic and very impactful and meaningful for the families. And it's so critical for the post-traumatic growth that they need to experience after military loss.
Absolutely. Yeah, and one of the immediate kind of connections between our organization as a veteran and military family organization and what you all do is that focus on and shining the spotlight on the families, right? Because so much of the service that somebody who wears a uniform is able to provide is in large part due to the families who kind of support them along the way and obviously are serving alongside them and after after a loss, obviously the incredible kind of support that they need to kind of be recognized and supported through that journey.
We have to do that as a country, right? We have to come together to support those whose loved ones have served and died. It's our duty to give back, to create opportunities for them to build connection and have fun and smile and laugh, but also have opportunities for all the educational benefits, which our education program does. We have a policy team that advocates on behalf of the rights of survivors and the needs of survivors. TAPS has evolved and grown with the needs of the military population and the survivor population over the last 30 years. We don't look the same as we did in 1994,
sure, yeah.
Because of the needs of our country. TAPS started during peacetime. So, we've gone through so much and have always been that warm welcome, that warm hand and that shoulder to stand next to when you're going through your journey. And we engage with our active duty and veteran service members to mentor our bereaved military children, which not only is wonderful for the kids to feel that military connection, but also incredibly beneficial to the service members
100%.
To be able to, connect and help a child through the grief journey.
Yeah, the concept of creating another opportunity for service for veterans and military family members, especially as it relates to helping a family member of who lost a loved one and being a mentor and all the things that you said about the benefits on both sides of that equation. I mean, it's something that it's incredibly powerful, and we should do more to figure out how we can make that connection. And all of our work is focused on enabling the veteran and military family community to serve again. And so what better way to kind of create an opportunity for them.
And I think that we could easily do that. All the pre-chatting we've been having, I think there are natural fits to the work that we do. And any way that we can illuminate, shine a light on the needs of the families and the important, work that we do will benefit, whether a survivor will then hear about TAPS who maybe didn't know about it, or somebody who decides they want to support the military community and really values the work that we do and wants to donate, or a service member who wants to mentor. All of that awareness is incredibly important, and so yes, we would invite the opportunity to do that.
I think a lot of TAPS families also feel maybe that loss of the military community,
Sure.
right, when they lose their military loved one. And so working with other veteran service organizations or other veterans, like, to let them know that the military has not forgotten them, their country has not forgotten, they're still military families. And so it can be really nice to do partnership events where it's not just TAPS families, but it's TAPS, it's veterans, it's active duty, all part of that military community, because a lot of them love that. A lot of them, our survivors, are also veterans themselves. We have dual service, households or their loved ones. We have a survivor coming tomorrow. She lost her husband, and her son is going into a military academy, right? So, those generations moving forward, and he'll take a lot of what he learned with TAPS and bring that, into his military career. So it's just so important to keep those connections together.
Absolutely,
as we move forward.
The family, generational connection, and the community aspect to what the veteran and military family community is so important to find new ways to kind of establish those, because it has so much impact downstream. Can you tell me a little bit about the partnership with the NFL? And obviously, it's such a rich, the Salute to Service connection, and as you mentioned, something that's been in existence for a number of years. Obviously very important to us in our work, but would love to hear your experience working with the NFL.
So working with the NFL is a gift. We're incredibly grateful for not only the support that they give us for opportunities, that the clubs do all over the country, really all year long. It's not really just only during the season, but the financial support for our programs. The NFL said to us right around the time we became a Salute to Service partner, if we could, how can we help along the journey? They love seeing families. They love seeing those meaningful moments we could create to celebrate life and service. But they wanted to be part of the healing.
Yeah.
Which we so valued, right? I mean, it was sort of like I picked my chin up off the floor and walked out of the NFL headquarters in New York and said to Jessica, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable," right? And so what they have been able to do across the board, whether it's funding our young adults program or our military mentor program, and then the opportunities have just been extraordinary. So working with them has been joyful. The foundation has been extraordinary. The commissioner wears photo buttons of fallen heroes during the draft when we have families making a pick. Since 2017, we do the London series. So it's opportunities to be creative, to be innovative, and having a partner like the NFL has been an absolute joy and a gift. And we're really in wonderful company with the other Salute to Service partners. And all of us have very unique way of engaging the population, whether it's active duty or the wounded or educational programs, and obviously the great work at the Bob Woodruff Foundation. So it's a really wonderful spot for us to be in.
Yeah, it's I think couldn't echo more. I mean, our partnership with the NFL started a few years ago, and with our Vet the Vote campaign, and they've been such incredible supporters and advocates for connecting the dots between the veteran and military family community and the Salute to Service work, and also kind of NFL votes, and how the NFL does incredible work to promote civic education, to promote participation in the democratic process. And so it's been phenomenal to get exposed to more of the partners in the Salute to Service space, and a lot more work that we have to do together. A lot brokered by this relationship that we have shared jointly with the NFL. So very excited about that. Maybe before we end the conversation, I have to ask, for the game this Sunday, do either of you have it?
I let Jessica take this question.
Okay.
So professionally, we are neutral. We work with both the Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks.
Good.
So
You gotta keep it balanced.
I think Diana's our response last time was it's a good clean game and no one gets hurt.
But high scoring.
But I am from New England. I grew up in Maine, so I do personally have a little bit more of a pull towards the Patriots. Also, we've gotten to do a lot of Salute to Service work with the Patriots. And I was saying Coach Rabel invited us to practice, and the players wore initials of fallen heroes on their helmets for their salute to service game. And then Drake May was asked a question in his press conference, and he spoke about the Marine captain that he had honored on his helmet and meeting the family and how meaningful that was. So lots of love. As Diana said, I don't think it's just meaningful for our families, but also for the players and the teams. So it's like an NFL league level, but we also get to work with the club level and player level. So that is to say, go Pats and
that's
go
the
Seahawks,
personal. That's the personal.
Right?
Personal position, not the organizational.
We're just really lucky to be able to work with all the different teams, support all of our families. But yeah.
I will take that. Well, we had a sticker our first year when we were here on Radio Row. It said we just hope both teams have fun, which was the most neutral way of saying.
I think a lot of people are rooting for the music.
That's
the
true.
people of Bad Bunny and Green Day. I think a lot of people don't always know who the players or the teams are, but they know the surrounding
commercials,
the enthusiasm. So however you want to participate in the NFL and Super Bowl, I think we
always say what's more American than the military and football, right? Those two things, and then you throw in voting in there, and now you got to try
to see that flyover at the beginning of the thing, and your heart just hear that national anthem, and it's just it's like a proud moment.
Perfect. Well, last thing, we are celebrating the 250th birthday of the country this year, and so we're asking everybody to just give a quick happy birthday to the military, whose birthday was actually the Army, Navy, Marine Corps. Obviously, birthdays last year, and then happy birthday America for the 250th this year. So if you wouldn't mind giving that to the camera.
Happy birthday, America, 250!
And happy birthday to the United States of America.